My upbringing had a tremendous impact on my development. I grew up in a rural area in northeastern Indiana, surrounded by family. Grew up on a lake, so I grew up fishing, swimming, riding bikes, but also close to my grandparents' farm where I worked. It taught me a lot of lifelong lessons about hard work and responsibility, and also valuing the people around you, the value of a good neighbor. My personality is a heady mix of glass half full and sarcasm that is really grounded in my love of history and my love of media, music, movies, television.
When I think about Joel, the first thing that comes to mind is contradiction. And what I mean by that is I think of bow ties, and his genre of music is like, really? He seems very future-oriented to me, and yet that does not necessarily give you a clue of how deeply rooted he is and how much scholarly work he's done in history. So contradiction is my one word for Dr. Joel Shrock.
I would describe Joel's personality as a person that's comfortable in his own skin. And he knows who he is, and he's unapologetic about that, but for most people, they like that straightforwardness about him.
As a Gilded Age historian and someone who wears a lot of bow ties, you would not automatically assume that this is also a person that has watched all of Netflix, has customized his own blue and gold Nikes on Nike.com, and loves The Clash and Green Day.
Joel loves higher education so much because of the transformational nature of someone getting a degree, to being their best self, to being successful in the future. There's so much about higher ed that is more than just studying books.
Joel is very genuine. What you see is what you get, and what you see is really good. He goes out of his way to make people feel important, to make people feel special. That's rare in somebody.
Just really interactive, and he's really personable, and he can talk to any student about anything that they're going through or what they want to become. And I'm not sure you can say that about presidents.
He's very personable. When I first met him, he was open to hear all of my ideas of what I wanted to do for the campus, or how we could make the campus better. And he was just very, I could connect with him.
A lot of the students have said about Joel that they really appreciate how he shows up at events, how he shows up for any of the other activities that students are involved in. They really appreciate the fact that he is a part of Graceland very actively, and he's able to see every student interact with them individually, and the students have a chance to talk to him.
There's not a person on this campus that hasn't seen Joel at a volleyball game or basketball game here. He's at as many student events as he can be at. The students know him, and that says something.
I think Joel makes the people around him feel well cared for and special.
He's really supportive of every conversation I have with him, and he's genuinely caring about others. So I can tell he takes time to listen and also connect with me.
Joel's humor and his intellect has been very impactful because I think he's able to bridge the gap between the academics and the personal connections that he has with people. He is able to actively engage with people, hold conversation. He makes you feel at home. He makes you feel welcomed through the way he responds to you, through the way he interacts with you.
He's just well-rounded. He can talk to anybody about anything.
In order to really make any kind of significant connection, I need to get to know you on a personal level to where we have some level of reciprocity so that we can understand each other. And with that level of understanding, we can actually make progress and know where we are going and what we need to do to get there. You can only really succeed as a leader if you have strong leadership around you. It's important to ask everyone you work with, what are your goals? What do you hope to achieve, and how can I help you do those things?
When Joel Shrock took over as interim president, he started these presidential walkabouts where he simply walks around campus and he takes pictures. And in the first GSG meeting of the year, he came and was telling me how it's so sad in the summer. He talks to like the same 12 people who are on campus and that sort of thing. But he was so excited to see students, and so now he goes to games, he walks around and takes selfies with people, he takes pictures of his new Graceland colored shoes and posts them, and people are just always so excited about whether they made it on his Instagram or not.
President Shrock, at our first mixer, he was coming around taking pictures, and he does his weekly snapshot of the campus, and he can make a mean s'more. Me, personally, I like my marshmallow burnt, but President Shrock, he likes his golden brown, apparently. He was very interactive with all the students and helping us and just making it all fun.
We, as a School of Business, we hosted a wiffle ball game, and then we invited Joel, not expecting him to show up, but he showed up, and then he played the wiffle ball with us, and then it was really fun to see him, play with us.
What makes me excited about Joel's presidency is that it gives me hope for Graceland. Hope is really the biggest word that comes to mind when I think of Joel, just his ability to be a visionary and think outside the box, but also go back to the roots with his history knowledge and learn from the past and carrying it forward.
Carry it forward, in my mind, is taking what's best about the past of Graceland, adding what we think is necessary to be successful in the 21st century, and boldly moving forward with that vision.
I'm most excited about Dr. Shrock and his presidency because of the way that he incorporates everyone around him in the decisions he makes. It's not something where it's top down. He's involving everyone around him, and he's giving them the ability to make decisions. And he understands that we're going to be innovative and we're going to do some new things, some things that are different. And he understands that and is fully on board with that.
One of the things that I see about Dr. Shrock and his leadership ability here is he has a very uncanny ability to see the big picture and to apply vision.
President Shrock does a really good job of empowering the other leaders of the university that are over divisions or schools or what have you, and I think that he lets you know that he trusts you and that you're the expert in your area, and so that makes leaders feel very empowered.
I think Joel has a vision for education and also growth for Graceland, so Joel has the ability to see the big picture.
Joel does not care if the best idea in the room does not come from him. He wants the best idea in the room.
My leadership style really depends upon the notion of shared leadership, where I depend upon the leaders that surround me to really promote good ideas and to build up their units.
When you talk to him and you hear him speak and you hear about his vision, he just seems to get it. No matter who he's talking to, he understands what needs to happen next. He has a vision for it, he has a plan, and he can be really compelling in verbalizing that and sharing that with anyone he talks to.
Everybody should know that Dr. Shrock has a great sense of humor.
He was talking to a freshman student at one of our connovations, and he was telling the freshman students that you just crossed the Rubicon. I really like that sense of humor because he has a history in his background, so I like a sense of humor he has.
When I think of Dr. Shrock, I simply think of the word lovely. Just every single room he walks into, he brightens up, whether it's with his humor, his jokes he cracks, or whether it's with his passion about grad school, about education, about his family, or whether it's even about what he's doing for fall break. He's just simply lovely. He really values what Graceland values.
I love Graceland's value structure. I love that it's a place where all kinds of different people can come and be successful. That's not true of every institution of higher education. We are a supportive place. We are a kind place. We're a place with empathy. It's an amazing thing to see, and it makes Graceland a special place.
He is very invested in the mission of Graceland, exactly what that means to him in his own life and his own journey, and how that applies from Joel to Graceland to our students.
What I hope most for both him and Graceland is that he does not feel like he has to move Graceland forward by himself. There is a whole group of people between faculty and staff and board members and alumni and the church who are equally committed and passionate about seeing Graceland be what it is called to be in the world.
I hope my legacy is that I help to move the institution forward, that we are successful in the things that we're doing, that our students do have a better experience, that the people who work here do want to work here, that we do our best. When I leave, I don't need any sort of personal accolades. Really, just what I want to leave behind is a place that is in a better place than I found it, and that is prospering and growing and meeting its mission.
He's never going to give up. He is going to always be there, finding ways to ensure its future success. He won't quit on Graceland.